Hey, welcome everybody. I just want to get started by first off just saying thank you. Thank you, Ed. Big shout out. Props to you, man. Thank you so much for making this happen. Next, I want to lead into one question that I had about one of my last diagrams. And the question was, is it really that simple? Can it all be that simple to just place your attention on the now? And all I can say is, yeah, it's that simple. Go ahead and try it. Go ahead and try. See how see how much your mind tries to pull you away from there. See how much your habits and all of your programmed ways of doing things pull you out of right now, okay? You'll come up against a lot right there. But let's get started. Let's get started on this. And it really is that simple, but I wanted to increase the level of complexity in the diagram just to show you another perspective. Again, I'm going to come at this from so many different angles and so many perspectives because the way I see it, I'm really talking about one thing, one singular thing, and it has everything to do with you. Everything to do with you. So, getting started. Now, if you can see, hopefully everything is good and clear and visible for the audience. This is a column, if you will. And in the middle of the column is the point that I'm trying to make right now, okay? So if we go into the dictionary definition of now, if you look it up in Merriam-Webster, it actually says the time right before the present. So that's implying that there's this point in time that exists before the present moment. That implies that it's that present somehow comes after now. Does that make sense? So right here we have now, and then outside of it is presence, or your presence. This is a picture of anyone's consciousness. This is just a picture of consciousness as I see it. And again, this isn't set in stone. This isn't what it has to be. It's completely up to you what this is going to look like. I'm just showing you one angle right now. This is just what came up today. So coming up this column, if you will, this fulcrum, this centrifuge, is little arrows that I drew, all pointing inward towards the now. What lies beyond this column of your immediate presence, your immediate surroundings, what's going on right now, is your mental space, okay? That exists all outside of right now in locational reference and as a spatial relationship in terms of this diagram. It's internal, okay? So what did I put here? I put mental space, okay? The mind, all right? This is where you perceive the future, where you project the future. This is where you have memory of the past. This is where that's where you go to recount the details of something that had happened. This is where all your knowledge exists, okay? And you'll notice here when I wrote knowledge, I underlined ledge, okay? Because it's the ledger of what you know. And all that kind of gets prescribed into your beliefs and assumptions. This exists inside that mental space, kind of like a negative space, you could say, that is outside of what's going on right now, but you can pull it up at any given time because you work with the mind. And all that internal dialogue is happening in this space sort of outside of what's going on right now. Your attention is directed to it, so you're bringing right now there, but there's more going on right now. There's way more going on right now. I mean, really, all that's going on right now, if I may be so blunt, is me saying this right now, you watching the video on whatever device you're watching it on, the little itch on the back of your neck, the sound of the breeze. It's nature. It's the universe unfolding naturally, just so, like just how it always is. It doesn't need any help. It doesn't have to think about it. It's just working perfectly. And that's where I'm saying right now is the point in the middle of your consciousness where it all comes together in harmony. But that's where it's blossoming out from. And that's why it's so hard to hold your attention to it, because energy is flowing away from it. Energy is flowing out of this central column of energy. Okay? And it's dispersing out into this field of your mind, this mental space where your beliefs and assumptions have laid out where you think everything goes. It's also what you think of as out there. By out there, I mean what isn't right here, what isn't right in front of you, what isn't going on inside the space that you're experiencing right now, whether you're in a room or in a car or wherever you are. That's what's happening right now. That's the truth. That's where it's really happening. You keep a ledge of your knowledge, a ledger out in your mind, but you can only really know when it's right there in front of you, when it's right here, right now. That's knowing, and then the ledger is out here. So that's where everyone else is. Okay, everyone exists to you if they're not right here, right now. If everyone that you know isn't with you right here, right now, they exist in this space in your mind, and what your experience of them right now is a projection of them. It's not really them. They're experiencing their own now. They're experiencing their own concepts, all their ideas and all their thoughts, and they're putting it all together. They're existing in their mind, and they're experiencing their own personal now. And what I'm saying is each and every one of us has our own personal now that we're responsible for, that we have trouble taking ownership of, that we are afraid to face day after day, that we want to avoid, but also brings us great joy. It's where we find connections. It's where we listen to beautiful music. It's where it's happening. It's when you get into this space, into this heart space. This it's like the core of the universe. It's the core of everything happening. It's the blessed unconditional love bursting, and it's happening right in front of you, right in front of your eyes. It's just all of this stuff that you have in your mind is painted over the top of it. It's painted over it. So you're perceiving it through all your interpretations and your judgments and your worries, and you're more concerned with everyone else and what's out there, and does it fit in my knowledge of what's happening? I need to study this. I need to think about this. And what about the future? And what about everything that happened in the past? All that history. What about what everyone else figured out? Does that work? And all I'm saying is, well, that's up to everyone else. What's up to you right here, right now, is what you really have control of. This is where all the power is. And what I'm trying to do is redirect all that dispersed attention that you have and all of your thoughts, all of your worries, all of your concerns, and bring it back into a higher focus, if you will, where you can expand your presence and expand your mental space. There can be more higher levels of clarity there. And when you take a step back from the puzzle, after you've been trying to put together all these little pieces, just crunching away on it day after day, sometimes if you just set it down, okay? So I'm like, set down your mind, set down all your concepts, all your ideas about what's going on, set it down and step back a little bit from it. You can look at greater chunks of the puzzle. You can see, oh, I'm trying to put this little piece right here. It doesn't even go there. I bring that right up here, and now I can shift these two pieces together and see a greater image. I can see it put together. And what I'm saying is, if you come into right now, and if you make that your own discipline, if you're a disciple of right now, of the truth, of the heart of what I'm saying here, it will present itself to you. It will show itself to you in all its glory. But we're busy trying to make it something. That's what your mind is doing. This is the creative process. This is good. This is good. We all need this. We can't exist without it. This is how we protect ourselves. This is how we protect our heart, our loved ones. This is how we sort everything out. This is how we sort out our life. This is where we go to choose the words that we use to say, to express the ideas that are coming from somewhere deep, somewhere intangible, somewhere that doesn't have all these words already preloaded. They have to be all filtered through your mind, and then you give them words, you give them symbols, and you express those symbols to others, and that's how we make our connection. Is we're all trying to explain something that's absolutely intangible, beyond us, trying to understand, what is this life, why are we here, who are we, what is everyone else doing, why are they doing it. All of these great questions are always being picked away at by our mind. We're always considering these things, and what we're doing is then we're figuring out what all that means to us. We're pulling out little gems of meaning, and then we're packing it into a form, a thought form, a vibrational pattern, a word, a symbol. Okay, and the word creates it. The word, once it's heard, and once it's read, and once it's felt, and you see that word, it then lays out into the matrix of your mind, and there it takes shape. And this is like the playground of any creator out there, any person. This is where they're creating their identity. This is where they're creating who they think they are. They're all doing it right now, but people have lost touch with what's going on right now. Because of that, they've lost touch with nature. They've lost touch with even the people that are closest to them. They And I'm not saying this for everybody, and I'm saying this is very general, and I'm saying you know it too, you see it too, and you've experienced it too. We've all been despondent, we've all been detached, we've all not known what to do with ourselves, we've all been confused in this whole mess and array of what's going on in our minds, trying to put it all together. And all I'm saying is, give your mind a break. Just be quiet. Just settle down. Just listen. Just pay attention. Just be aware. Be aware of what's going on. Notice more. Just notice some more. Okay. And like I said, this is just one idea, just one image. I just came up with it today and slapped it on here to try and express the same point that I'm going to keep coming back to you with, but to kind of commemorate how ephemeral this is, how temporary all this is. Because right now is, it's undefined, it's uncreated, it's creation, but what it means, that's up to you. That the ball's in your court now. Okay, so thank you. I'm just going to erase that. Thank you so much. Come back later. Okay, thank you.